All aboard! The next stop on my Ural adventure was Belgrade, Serbia. With plugins, amenities, and great food, I was traveling in luxury. With the Kosovo War long over, Belgrade is a completely safe and trendy destination. Locals are free to create, and art is on the upswing, like the Trend Shack, milkshake in the front, and great shopping in the back. And if the street art is any indication, there's definitely creativity in the air. Serbian hot trends come together at the supermarket concept store. I got inspired by their avant-garde fashion and chilled out in their yummy fusion restaurant. Still hungry, I headed to Cantina de Frida, a Frida Kahlo themed restaurant right on the waterfront. Great Mexican food and drinks in Serbia? See! Night was falling, and Belgrade has a club scene like no other, because the clubs are on boats. After dancing on the water, I went back to Selection Apartments, the sweetest hotel hosted by Ivan and Dessa. I love talking to them, and they treat every guest like family. Cheers, Belgrade! After that, I grabbed my Ural pass and headed to Zagreb, Croatia. I wanted to find out what was cool, trendy, and up-and-coming, so I grabbed my friends and headed to Kino Europa. I met Professor Balthazar, a beloved Croatian character, and browsed their amazing gift shop. Everything was locally made and film-related. Kino Europa is a 1920s theater and the home to indie films. Time for lunch! I was swept away on a rickshaw by Matija Nikolic, a winner of TV's MasterChef and owner of The Walk, an Asian street food fusion restaurant. The place had a charming pop-up feel, and it was absolutely delicious. Next, we headed to the Museum of Broken Relationships, one of the quirkiest exhibits I've ever visited. People send in mementos of heartbreak, and the most compelling go on display. The day wasn't over as we went on the Witches Tour. We learned so many interesting facts, like spikes were placed on rooftops so witches couldn't land. We visited a small underground chapel and headed to the Zagreb City Museum. Some spooky things were on display, like the Mask of Shame. On day 2, we headed to the Culture Club, a cool music venue, sushi restaurant, and hangout bar, owned by Drazen Goreta, who also runs Birtija, a kitschy college pub with over 120 beers. Next, it was time for some shopping. Croatia has a ton of local fashion designers and trendy stores like Brocula and Z. All clothes created at Brocula and Z are eco-conscious and come with unique, quirky messages. Next, we hit up Divot, a young tech company that is revolutionizing the way people experience video games. I put on a headset and found myself in a 360-degree fantasy world. It takes virtual reality to a whole new level. After a quick glass of wine at the uber-trendy basement, I headed to Strosmart, where a summer music concert was happening. Listening to local music and dancing the night away, the perfect end to a perfect trip. Thanks to our incredible friend and guide, Andrea. If you're headed to the Croatian coast, rent out her awesome seaside apartment. For more Ural adventures, join me at lacarmina.com.